Hello, everyone. My name is Joe Natale. Today is Monday, October 9th, about 3 o'clock. Beautiful day here in the Woodlands, Texas. My giant is Mr. Sean Murphy from Woodbridge, New Jersey. Why I picked Sean, not to bore everyone with detail on adversity and past life and things that put me in situations that I was in. But Mr. Murphy gave me an opportunity at a job, something I did not have and wasn't making very much money, and trying to support my wife or my girlfriend who had just given birth to our first son, Evan, while I took care of my responsibilities for my son, Joey, who was my baby boy from a previous marriage. Reason why Sean, I had put in for a job that I had seen at unemployment that indicated warehouse, maintenance, sweeping, reading gauges, so forth and so on. So I set up to take the test, a pre-aptitude test. I was down in Woodbridge, New Jersey, October 2005. And Sean I'd taken this test, which I knew I had failed miserably. As I was walking around during the break, looking at all the infrastructure around the test room, pipes and valves and tanks, a gentleman walked up with a name tag, Sean, and he leaned over and read mine. He was like, "How the hell you say that? My real name is Giuseppe. And what's the matter? What are you doing?" And I told him, "I'm looking around. I don't understand this stuff. I'm looking at valves. I'm looking at things that, like, I don't get this. Why am I here? Why am I doing this?" And he told me not to worry about it. He's in the same boat. He probably failed too, but what the hell. As this conversation is going on, another individual walks up to me and starts pointing out different things like a jet filtering manifold, and fuel oil tanks, and ethanol tanks, and so forth and so on. And I didn't know what he was talking about. It went right over my head. And Sean had asked him, "What's your name? Where's your name tag?" And the guy says, "Oh, I'm not wearing that curse word thing. I'm not wearing that." So I didn't think anything of it. We went inside, took the test. A couple weeks go by, I get a phone call from this young lady, Megan, who had originally set me up for the test. Said, "Giuseppe, we'd like to schedule for an interview. Are you interested?" I'm like, "For what?" And she said, "Well, you passed the test." And I just jokingly and sarcastically said, "Oh, no, you got the wrong guy. I didn't pass that test." She said, No, you passed it, and we'd like to bring you down to meet a couple of the management team to go through the interview process." I said, "Sure. Give me the time, date. I'll be there." So I didn't own a suit, and I remember my wife and my girlfriend and I going to try and, I think it was Chess King. We went to Chess King, and I bought what I considered a suit to try to give a good representation of myself. Walked in, and the gentleman on the other side of the desk giving the interview was that guy, Sean Murphy. And I looked at him and I said, "You're the guy I was talking to in the parking lot." I said, "Yep." I said, "But I thought you were taking the test like I was." And he said, "Maybe I was." He said, "But I wasn't taking the test to get a job, because obviously I have one." And I was shocked. I was speechless. And he brought up the example that I didn't think of much at the time. The gentleman that came over without a name tag, and he said, "Remember the guy that came up and talked to you and I without the name tag?" And like, "Yeah." He said, "That guy probably got 100, and even if he did, he wasn't getting a job here." He said, "Because a guy like that is going to get me in trouble, because he's going to come in here and have the answer to everything, and take shortcuts and get himself and me and the company into trouble, and I don't need that. But a guy like you that doesn't know anything, I can teach." And he said, "A guy like you that's got adversity and needs to work and wants to put food on the table for his family, a guy like you is going to go above and beyond." And he says, "You know what? And if you don't, and if you screw me and you don't go above and beyond, and I made the biggest mistake as a judgment on you. I'll get rid of you and I'll sleep like a rock. He said, you know why? Because there was 200 other guys that took that test that, oh, by the way, passed the test. You didn't pass the test. And he said, they passed the test. I'll bring one of them in for a job. Sound like something you're interested in? I said, yeah, just give me a little bit of background. He said, well, what you need to know is you're off 2 days a week. Those 2 days are Tuesdays and Fridays. You okay with that? I didn't care. I told him, listen, I just want a job. I have to support my family. Doesn't matter to me. Well, fast track to 2017, and I am now vice president of operations for a different company, Blackline Partners. But if it wasn't for Sean on that day back then that gave me the opportunity to get into this industry, it's the same industry that I'm in now, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be dead or in a jail cell. I would not and could not live the life and provide for my family the way I do now. And that's why my giant is Sean Murphy.